Alright, welcome back to another episode of Kira Kira. In the previous episode, we've chosen a different option that led us complete a different path where, well, I get to see Kira alive. And she's not doomed to die in a fire. But besides that, we've learned about Kirari's prostitution much earlier. But even without knowledge, unfortunately, and one more thing before I continue on, is she was, after we've learned, supposed to work at that job the next day, but fortunately enough, she had her period and she couldn't work that job for almost a week. But even with extra gain time, unfortunately, we could not think of what to do. Really. And getting back to the learning bit, her father has depression and practically is continually dooming the family in poverty. And thanks to his drinking and bicycle gambling, he made the debt even bigger. And how that debt was in there in the first place, well, is because of the failing business. He put a lot of money, the father, and something happened, and none the single profit was returned to him, like, at all, unfortunately. Oh, in addition to that, thanks to that failed business, he went into full depression, making everyone else's life harder. Even fucking demanded Tirari to work as a prostitute. It's a shitty place I don't really know about or actually what to care. Honestly, she does not deserve some lousy flower with a shitty depression, honestly. She honestly doesn't deserve it. She's a very decent person. Like, for fuck's sake. Speaking of the father, I'm still actually pissed off. In one sentence, he said, in one of the long sentences, he said, I lost what's important in my life, I'm finished. And then in the next, he says he loves his family, and I'm actually angry at where he places his importance the most, really. He may actually love them and show them care. Actually, he did really show care when he said he didn't want Kirari to live with them anymore, with the father, mother, and kids. But the fact that his family was not the main importance to him and something else that he lost, actually really pissed me off, if I'm gonna be honest. Oh, and that's the last thing I can mention, I guess, before we continue on with the episode. She was having a lot of dark thoughts, and some of them actually creeped me out. We gotta be honest. Good thing that karate exists, and practically, I don't know how to say this. It's good that she splashes away the negativity out of him. Anyways, I sleep all day and go to school the next day. It's Friday, and the classroom is noisy with the. Oh, yeah, that's true. It is noisy with the students talking about their plans for the weekend. My friend talks to me while I'm daydreaming, but I can't engage in any conversation. Murakami speaks to me with concern, but I still can't carry a conversation with him. I just can't use my hand. My head is empty, and I can't think of anything. My emotions are completely offline. My heart is still too confused, and I can't recognize that feeling. I go straight back home after school. The time passes while I sit in a chair in my room. By the time I start thinking I should do something, my cell phone rings with a loud sound. It's a call from a familiar voice from a public phone, but I can't remember who she is.
これは前島鹿之助さんの携帯電話ですか?
Mother. Oh. Yes, but who is this?
あ、これは私、C のキラリの母です。
I couldn't tell if it was her because she sounds different on the phone. Her call switches on my brain again. That's good. What does she want from me?
今、大丈夫ですか？
Yes. I reply with a nervous feeling.
実は、今病院にいまして。
At the hospital?
ええ、それで。
Did something happen to Kirari? I raise my voice without noticing. No, don't do this to me.
いえ、そうではなくて、
She tells me that something has happened to Kirari's father. Oh God. According to her, he tried to commit suicide. He's been in the hospital since yesterday and he has just regained consciousness. Since then, he's been telling her to call me to the hospital. He wants me?
申し訳ありません。本人がどうしてもというので、キラリも反対したのですが。
Is Kirari there too?
はい。でも、突然こんなこと言っても、ご迷惑ですよね。
It's okay. I'll be there right away. Which hospital is this?
それは。
She tells me the name of the hospital. I'll be there. I'll talk to you again.
ありがとうございます。
She sounds exhausted. My body was feeling as heavy as lead before, but now I'm feeling light. I raced to the hospital on my bicycle in the red sunset. As I head towards his room, our patients and visitors are staring at me. I hear a shouting voice coming out from his room.
どうして助けたりしたんだ!
It sounds like the person I'm about to visit.
お父さん!
Then I hear a very familiar voice. Excuse me? I go inside.
資格?
Yoink. Kirari looks up at me. Her father is lying on the bed behind her with a frustrated face.
あのまま死なせてくれればよかったのに.
It's a loud voice, but it sounds weak. Why should they?
大丈夫です。薬が効いているはずですから、すぐに落ち着きます。
Ma'am, that was 3 hours ago! A nurse reassures us. Sorry. In fact, I seem drowsy and half asleep.
ごめん、連絡しちゃったんだね。
Kirari tries to apologize. It's alright. But what's going on? I heard that your father was calling for me.
今朝はそんなこと言ってたんだけど、一旦眠ってさっき目を覚ましたと思ったら、今度は急に怒り始めて。
She explains with a confused look. His hospital gown is wet with his blood. I assume his IV came up and he was screaming. There is a broken vase by his bed. Did he break that too? He continues to mumble something in a small voice.
暴れ疲れたみたいですね。
The nurse sighs as she looked at him and starts cleaning up the mess.
すみません。
Kirari tries to help her clean up.
ご家族の方も外で少しお休みになってください。ひどい顔してらっしゃいますよ。あなたまで倒れられたらたまりません。
The nurse speaks with a stern voice. Yoink. Kirari heaves a big sigh as she sits on the bench out in the hallway. Her face indeed looks exhausted. You haven't got any sleep?
昨日からほとんど寝てないんだ。
She raises her eyebrows. Her father was taken into the hospital around noon yesterday, and she hasn't gotten any rest since then. There's your mother? I got a call from her.
今さっき疲れすぎてフラフラしてたから家に帰ってもらったとこ。
Her eyes are red from rubbing them too much. I see. You need to rest too.
私は大丈夫だよ。
By the way, Kirari, what happened to the interview yesterday? As I nervously ask her, she makes an awkward face.
うん、まだだよ。
I see. I feel relieved to hear that.
わざわざ来させちゃってごめんね。もう資格に迷惑かけちゃいけないのに。
What are you saying? Anyway, can you explain to me what happened?
うん。
Then she starts explaining. It happened 2 to 3 hours after I left her yesterday. They got a phone call from the police. A buyer who went out for a walk was found unconscious at the park near their home. Kirari was the one who picked up the phone, and she headed towards the hospital right away with his things. At the hospital, she got detailed information from the police. They also questioned her. Her father had been drinking a lot, and they found a backwards of cigarettes inside his stomach. Oh. The police assumed it to be a suicide, and I guess they didn't find any parting note. They said it was a spontaneous thing. A pack of cigarettes?
お医者さんが言うにはタバコって結構毒性が強いんだって。でも吸収が悪いし吐き気もひどいからめったに死なないらしいんだけど。
She seems to be disturbed by this information. I guess it was a really spontaneous thought. If he was calm, he could have chosen a more effective way.
そうだね。ふと何もかも嫌になっちゃったのかもしれないね。
Kirari has been by his side without going home until right now.
ねえ、シカ君はお父さんに呼び出される心当たりとかあるの？
No, I'm wondering why.
そうなんだ。何なんだろうね。でもあの調子だとシカ君を呼べって言ったことも忘れてるかも。
She speaks regretfully. Don't worry. It's okay if he doesn't remember it anymore.
ありがとう。
She bows at me. But we broke up. So if you don't want me to be here... As I started speaking, Kirari shook her head.
正直言うとね、私シカ君が来てくれてすっごく嬉しかったんだ。
She starts crying. She must have been very sad. Her emotional face is watering my dry heart. This is the reason I fell in love with her. I rub her hair, and she sighs deeply.
でもダメだね、私もっとしっかりしなきゃいけないのに。
She speaks and wipes her tears away. You haven't done anything wrong, Kirari. You are trying too hard. You'll run out of gas if you keep this up. You should get some rest. It's obvious that she is tremendously tired.
でもまたさっきみたいにお父さんが暴れたら。
She's too concerned to leave him? Alright, I'll stay with him then.
そんなシカ君にそんなことさせられない。
It's okay, I'm here already. I don't want to leave for nothing.
でも受験とかあるし。
Don't worry and let me be your help. There isn't anything else I can do for you. I forced her to go back home and stay at the hospital all by myself. When I go back into his room, he's sleeping peacefully. He's still wearing the blood-stained gown, but his IV is back in place again. As I guess I stare at his peaceful sleep. I'm not surprised about what happened. This was something that I saw coming, given how he was acting the other day. The police were also not surprised when Karate explained to them about his condition. He did cause trouble, but I appreciate him for giving me a chance to see her again and for her to postpone her job interview. Now I get to be involved with her again. That means I might be able to change something again. Ever since I got that call, my motivation has been coming back. I don't know how much more time I have, but I'm now in overtime. I'm glad to have this chance. I want to organize information in order to succeed this time, but I don't know what has gone on so far. Why did he call me here in the first place? Was he just being delirious? Even so, it still doesn't seem to make sense that he was calling for me. I tried to think of a reason while staring at his peaceful sleeping face, but I have no idea why he wanted me. I'll ask him when he wakes up. As I say, a doctor comes into the room to check on him.
ご家族
How am I related to him? I don't know how I'm supposed to answer this question. Yes, kind of. I answer.
今は落ち着いているようだね。
The doctor checks his face.
運び込まれた時も暴れて大変だったんだよ。
He had a difficult time flushing out his stomach. Is he stable now?
タバコの他には変なものは出てこなかったからね。もう安心していい。だいたいあれだけ暴れられるんだったら問題なんかあるはずないさ。
He sounds better?
まったくバカなことをするもんだ。もう二度とこんなことはさせないでくれよ。
I feel like I have nothing to do with this. Yes, I'm sorry. However, I apologize just because. Yoink. The sun has gone down, and it is pitch black outside at the window. The other patients have finished eating their dinner, and they are preparing for bed. I have the hospital dinner too, but the texture is too soft for me. Just eat it, you ass bag. Visit hours are over for non-family members, but I got permission to stay because of that circumstance. Kirari is supposed to be here after she takes her break, but we never decided on the time. She said she'll be back as soon as she takes a little break, but I assumed she probably fell into a deep sleep. I might have to stay with him for the rest of the night. I don't mind that. I want her to take a good rest. She carries way too many burdens. I want to do what I can do for her. By the time I finish reading the comic magazine for the third time, the lights go out. Silence and darkness. I can hear the breathing of the other patients. I'm about ready to go to sleep when Gerardi's father wakes up. The white of his eyes stand out in the darkness. I fear he'll go on a rampage again, but instead he stares at me.
すまないが
He stably chin moans and he speaks with a hoarse voice.
これは
He seems confused. You don't remember? He nods at me.
救急車に乗せられたところはなんとか思い出せるんだが
I explained the situation. I tell him how it's been a whole day since he was brought here, and he's been screaming every once in a while when he woke up. I also tell him that I got Clara to go home to take some rest, and I've been staying with him since then. He listens to me with a surprised expression. You don't remember anything? He shakes his head. I don't know if this is an influence of alcohol or medicine, but according to him, he doesn't even remember how he woke up several times. So you don't remember calling for me? I'm here because you wanted me to be here? He shakes his head again.
そんなことをしたのか
His face looks pale in the darkness. He should be confused if everything he has done was against his will. He levers himself up from the bed.
私の服はどこへ行ったか知らないか財布が入っていたはずなのだが
Gerardo told me that they were in the bag with the other things. When I tell him so, he takes out his wallet from there. You want to buy something?
ちょっと一服しようかと思ってね。
No, you can't. You shouldn't smoke after what you went through.
あ、そうか。そうだね。じゃあ缶コーヒーにしておこう。前島君も来るかい？
He looks at me. I think he has some kind of intention, but I don't know what that is. Yes. I'm not anyway and stand up. Of course I'm coming with you. I can't leave you alone right now. I have to watch you. He seems to be uncomfortable with my words.
そんなにぴったりついて歩かなくてもいいだろう。
He complains while walking down the hallway. I don't want you to get in trouble again.
そんなことはしないよ。普段暴れたことはない。話が事実なら薬が影響していたんだろう。
Maybe. But when I think about how he was screaming, I can't believe him that easily. He thanks.
私も本格的に焼きが回ったものだ。
We buy some drinks from the vending machine in the back of the hallway. The dark hospital is totally quiet, and the sound from the machine echoes into the hallway.
少し話をしようか。
Sure. That's why I'm here.
そうか。君にまで迷惑をかけてしまってすまないな。
You're not the first one to say that. He seems calm and he is like a different person compared to when he was drunk. Perhaps this might be his true self, since he used to be an elite businessman in the past. We sit down on a bench together. May I ask you something first? I feel like I might be able to carry a conversation with him this time, so I ask a question. If I want to change the situation, I must understand him first.
うん。構わないよ。
He calmly nods. I'm sorry if I sound blunt, but why did you do this?
そうだな。
He starts searching for the words with sorrowful eyes.
朝、君たちが帰ってきたとき、とても悲壮な顔をしていたろう。二人ともそっくり同じ表情をしていたから、あれを見て、もう私は誰にも迷惑をかけられないと、そう思ったんだ。
He told me that he finally realized that karate is not the property of him or his family.
本当に悲壮な顔さ。そして、その原因は私なんだ。
He slightly smiles.
恥ずかしい話だが、私はいつの間にか娘や家族全体のことを考えることと、自分のことを考えるのがごっちゃになっていたんだな。これは恐ろしいことだ。本当に区別がつかなくなるんだ。冷静になればわかるよ。私なんかのことに家族を巻き込んではいけないのにな。
But still, I try to tell him that it's not right to commit suicide.
わかってる。
However, he answered before I can say anything.
私だって最初から死のうとは思っていなかった。散歩をしながらいろいろ考えたんだ。これからどうやっていくか。散歩をするとアイデアが浮かぶんだよ、昔から。
He smiles as if he remembered something from the past.
まあ考えることなんか最初から大してありはしないのだけどね。何をすべきかは分かっている。そして私自身がその気になれば不可能ではないってことも知っていた。あとは行動に移すだけなんだ。働くか、それが本当に無理ならしっかり休養するか。いずれにせよ建設的なことを今まで何もしなかったからね。それをすればいいんだ。
But you can't be productive because of your illness, right?
病気のせいかどうかはわからないが、結果から言えばできなかったんだろうね。何かきっかけがあればできるつもりでいたのだが、気がついたら 私はまた酒を飲んでいたんだ。結局もう何も私を変えてはくれないのだろうね。家庭がこんな状況なのによく酒など飲めるよ。
He thinks deeply?
いつから私は苦しいことや都合の悪いことは酔いの中でしか考えられなくなっていたんだろう。酒を飲んだからといって何かを忘れられるわけじゃないのに。むしろ明瞭になることもあるんだよ。例えば自分の惨めさだとかね。そして何もできないという絶望感に襲われるんだ。
He sips in his coffee and continues to talk.
ねえ前島君、その時も飲みながら思ったものだよ。自分は娘や家族の未来を真面目に考えることさえ正常な頭のままではできないのだなぁと。そして自分に腹が立つと、もうこんなやつどうにでもなればいいとさらに自分をめちゃくちゃにしたくなるんだ。楽しいだけなら酒なんか飲めないよ。苦しいから飲むってのも確かにある。損なわれたいびつな自尊心が酒を飲ませるんだね。
He glances at my face.
言い訳に聞こえるかもしれないが、これでも率直に話しているつもりなんだ。
Maybe you are. I don't know what kind of expression I have on my face, but when he sees my face, he smiles and starts speaking again.
とにかくね、その時もいつの間にか気持ちがズタズタになって何も考えられなくなった。だから一服して落ち着こうと思ってタバコを買ったんだ。静かな公園でも行って少し酔いを覚ませば健全な考えも生まれるだろうと思ってね。
But that's not what happened. He felt miserable as much as he thought about his future. Even when he imagined what he perceived as a happy future, his heart was getting heavier. May he have been unable to think at all anymore?
はっきりと死のうと考えたわけじゃない。ただ腹いっぱいタバコを食ったらさぞかし苦しいだろうなとふと思っただけなんだ。
So he opened up the pack of cigarettes and swallowed some. While doing so, he felt as if he was doing something positive.
そのことを思いついた時、本当に素晴らしいことをしている感じがしたんだ。馬鹿げたことをしているはずなのに、これはどういうことなんだろうね。自分でも不思議だ。どうやら人の感じ方というものにはよくわからない混沌があるようだよ。
He speaks as if he's talking about someone else.
だからね、死ぬなんてそんなことはちっとも意識してなかったんだ。その時の私はね、あれは事故みたいなものだったんだよ。
He looks at me and speaks calmly.
正しいという直感に従ったにもかかわらず、こんな無様な結果を引き起こす。理性も感覚ももう当てにならないなんて、これはどうしたものかね。
I don't know what to say back to him. He continues to speak while staring at me.
君にはヒラリを幸せにしてほしいんだ。 難しいことはいらない。普通のことでいいんだ。
Be natural?
気づいてるかい？あの子はね、子供の頃からちょっと能力的に飛び抜けたところがあって、欧米だったらギフテッドと言うんだろうね。
I notice that she's not normal.
うん。小学校の教師などにもよく言われたものだ。物覚えが恐ろしく良い子でね。昔は同級生と語彙のレベルが違いすぎて言葉が通じなかったりもしたものだ。優れてるってことも一種の障害なんだ。海外ならそういう子供には特別な教育システムがあるのだけれど、日本じゃまだまだだ。そのことで随分辛い目にも遭ってきた。
I didn't know it was that significant.
でもそうなんだよ。まあそういうわけでね、あの子は努力して簡単な言葉遣いや分かりやすい振る舞いを身につけたりしたもんだよ。テストでわざと悪い点取ったら教師には真面目にやれって怒られて、そこで悩んだりもして。
Yes, me, sorry. Yes, me
で
again.
もそうなんだよ。そういう昔話は聞いていないか？
No. This is the first time I heard of this.
そうか。言いたくなかったんだろう。とにかくあの子はね、ノーマルにすごく憧れているんだ。みんなと仲良くしたいんだ。なあ前島君、そのことをよく覚えておいてくれ。あの子は孤独なんだ。信頼できる誰かの力が必要なんだよ。
His words are tearing up my heart. If possible, I want to be with her too, but I have no power in reality. However, that's all because of him. If he wasn't like this, we could have shared a normal happiness. I think you have to do something first. Family is the most important thing for karate. I can't help but to talk with irritation in my voice.
確かに最初に解決しなくてはならない問題は私だな。分かってはいるんだ。
Then he looks forward and sighs.
世の中ってのはこう味気ないものだな。子供の時はちっとも想像しなかったよ。
He mutters as if he is talking to himself. Wow. I mean, for sure, yeah, it definitely needs to do something first. Family comes first, for sure. But it really showed that he does really care about his family. But he also knows that his own pride is destroying him. Too much even. So that's good that he knows and that he appreciates what he has. But once more, he does really need to work on himself so that the others wouldn't suffer. I step by at the restroom and on our way back to the room anyways. I have to go after drinking cold juice at night. I also want to get away from the strange man for a while. I felt negative vibe coming into my body while I talked with him. I have to stay calm and listen to him. I think about what he told me so far while using the restroom. I can't easily understand his words. However, I can't refuse him because he did sound calm and honest. I think he does care about his family. Karate told me that his mind is just twisted, and I agree with her. But that doesn't just solve anything. If there's no action, it doesn't mean anything. What's important is what happens next. I believe he has a slight intention to change himself. I wish he would take this as a lesson and change a little bit. As for karate, it was my first time hearing about your childhood. But I can't imagine those scenes. Also, I mean, Majima himself actually mentioned that she doesn't really have many friends, and she thought she was weird. Maybe because of the weirdness. But this is why she was struggling with trying to find friends this whole time. Well, her sensitive personality might be a result of her childhood. I can't make her feel sad anymore. I went back to the room while thinking about her, but there's no one in his bed. I had a feeling. He said he was going back to his room, and I went to the restroom. This room and the restroom are very close to each other. I know I didn't pass him either. I have a bad feeling. The patient next to his bed is still awake. I asked him if he came back, But he says he hasn't come back since we left here. I'll enter him and look for him in the hospital. Is it because I thought he was being honest with me? I don't trust him, but I should have been more cautious. I never thought he would disappear at this time. I look for him as I try to calm myself down. I remember how he wanted to have a smoke. Maybe he just went out to have a smoke. I should go look for him in the smoking area. I look at the hospital map and go to the smoking area, but he isn't there. Maybe when I go down to the lobby in the first floor, I find them. It's like the linoleum floor in his white hospital gown. Under the soft green light of the exit lamp. He isn't moving at all. It's obvious that something is wrong. There is a puddle of dark liquid near his body. When I get close to him, I realize that the puddle is connected to his wrist and that it's growing. It's too dark to tell, but I believe this liquid is red. He has a knife in his other hand, and it's clear that he cut his wrist. I feel betrayed. He just told me that he was fine. But why would he do something like this? Was everything he told me a lie? Or is this another spontaneous action that he took? I lose the energy in my body and then I start feeling upset. How can he take away something that Kirari tried to protect so hard? She went through so much. I'm full of emotions, but now is a time of emergency. I need to call someone. Luckily, there are plenty of doctors and nurses here. I'm about to shout out for help. But wait, this is a hospital. He should know that also. Perhaps he's not trying to kill himself. It's strange, isn't it? He knew that I would look for him if he disappeared. He also knew that I would easily find him here. It's obvious that someone will help him right away. Because this is a hospital. If he really wanted to die, he should be choosing a more definite way. When I think about that, my irritation comes back to me again. What is he doing while everyone is struggling so much? I don't care what he does, but why can't he think about the consequences? I look at his wrist. I heard people don't die that easily by cutting the wrist, but it seems he cut it pretty deep this time. The blood is flowing out continuously. I'm no doctor, but it's obvious that he will die if I just leave him here. Looking at his deep wound, maybe he's really trying to die. After all, there is a possibility that I won't ask for help. That's when I realize something. That's right. I do have a choice to not call for help. He knows that I don't feel good about him. He said we have to face the situation. Is he testing me? Or is he telling me to choose his fate for him? I'm confused. If I call someone now, he will probably survive. But if not, he will die for sure. What is my moral way saying? I don't want to be emotional. I want to be fair. I need to make my decision quickly, but then I realized this was a no-brainer. What do I want to happen? I was imagining what would happen in this situation before. I should just let him die. I'll just save him like this. If I make him my dirty decision, if I make this my dirty decision, everyone else will be saved. Jay will be happy. He probably did this because he knew that. He wanted it to die, but he was afraid of the consequences. That's why he made me carry this burden. If that's the case, I'll dirty my hands. I decided not to call for help and sit beside him. He doesn't move at all and looks as if he's already dead. However, his blood is still flowing out like from a wounded animal. I guess this moment will eventually stop if I just sit and stare at it. His expression is very calm. He had a very sad life. I admit that he was struggling. He was full of love when he spoke about karate. However, he had no luck. He was not the right person to survive in this world. I'm not good at it either. Maybe I'll have a pathetic death like him someday. When I sat still, I realized that the hospital was not in a total silence. I can hear the sound of the air conditioning. I also feel the sense of people. Not all the patients are asleep yet, and there are nurses and doctors who are working. I can hear someone walking. I also hear someone sneezing. Next, I think about my hunger. I haven't had anything since lunch today. I think I want to have some ramen after this is over. I should go with karate. She shouldn't have to work anymore, and someone would take care of the debt. We have to find a good lawyer too. I wonder if my dad knows anyone. When I continued to stare at his face, his cheek twitched. As I gazed at him, he slowly opened his eyes and I saw his dark pupils. He gave me a piercing look and moved his chin and lips. I hear a weak noise coming out from his lips. He's still alive. I need him to hurry up and die. If someone comes by, everything will be spoiled. Jesus Christ, calm the fuck down. I think about the possibility of someone coming by here. What would that person think about me? I know I would look strange. Oh yeah, you definitely look like it's you who did it and it's not him himself. I'm staring at him, hoping for him to die. Suddenly I think about Kirari. She seemed so relieved when I told her that I would take care of him. She was so concerned about him that she stayed with him without getting any sleep. But when I offered to help, she accepted immediately. And you're out here staring someone into his death. That's how much she trusted me. However, I'm about to betray her now. I'm trying to kill her precious father. Now I think about that, my stubborn intention breaks up in pieces. I still think that everything would go well without this father of hers. But I'm here now because Kirari trusted me. If she was here, she would never leave her father like this. I breathe deeply. If I'm here to take the place of Kirari, I should save him now. I know she has faith in me. I don't want to betray someone I love. Trust is a frail thing. I want to protect her trust. But what happens if he survives? She'll be kicked into the dark fate again. She'll be going back to her work for sure. And it might be worse than that. Either way, her life is doomed. She may accept her fate, but even if she does, I can't stand for that. What's best for me and Kirari is different. What should I do? Should I betray her and kill this man? Is that my selfish thought? I think she should die, but he may still have a chance to start over. Perhaps I should support him so he can take his fresh step forward. But if he stays the same and continues to hurt Kirari, I'll be devastated. Should I be keeping that possibility alive? Nothing good is happening to this man either. But what if he becomes happy someday? Kirari and her family might be saved if that happens. Is that possible? I'm confused. I feel a pain in my heart and mind. I don't know what's wrong and what's right. I don't know in whose shoes I should be. Everyone has a different desire. I'm in panic, but I don't have much time left. I desperately suppress my emotions and call for help. Good. As I continue to cry out, my voice echoes down the hallway, and then I hear someone coming towards us. My body is shaking with fear, and I'm sweating profusely. I feel as if I just pushed a button to destroy myself. But I think I did the right thing. I keep telling myself I did the right thing. Kira, Kira. There's not a single cloud in the sky on the day of the funeral. The ceremony is held in a room at its community center. It's decorated with black and white curtains. The number of condolers is low, which tells me how narrow his companionship was with others. His happy smile in the portrait is something I never saw. His wife was sitting in the corner of the room and looking down. Every once in a while, she rubs her head and face with a handkerchief. Sorry. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel being in this place. The doctor came right after I called for help, but it was too late. I didn't survive. I feel a heavy burden in my heart when the doctor let go of his pulse and checked his watch to pronounce his death. At that moment, I thought I had betrayed Kirari and became a murderer. So how am I supposed to feel right now at this funeral? I'm just here like air, with a blank emotion in my heart. I see my friends like Murakami and Chi and me sitting at the other side of the room. I'm sitting by the wall away from them because I don't feel like talking with anyone.
疲れてない？
Kirara comes to sit next to me after taking care of her sisters. I'm fine. How are your sisters? She tells them that Kashiwara took them outside to play.
最後のお別れの時くらい一緒にいさせてやりたかったけど。
She is unusually quiet. She seems disturbed, as if she doesn't have the capacity to act her usual self today.
ごめんなさい。いろいろ厄介なことに巻き込んでしまって。
She bows at me. Yeah, sorry. Don't be sorry. I'm sorry for what happened.
仕方ないの。いつかこうなっていたと思う。本当に死にたい人を止める方法なんかないんだから。
I don't know how to reply. Due to that circumstance, we had to go through a lot after he died. The police came to the hospital and I was questioned. I told them that I looked all over the hospital, but by the time I got there, he was already dead. I lied to them, but I was going to tell them the truth if they became suspicious of me. However, I was released just like that. Perhaps they already knew the truth, since they are professionals at revealing the truth. Maybe they gave me a break, considering the circumstance. Otherwise, they were just lazy about investigating the situation. Anyway, what really happened did not come to light. The only people who know the truth are her dead father and myself. I don't mean to hide a secret from Kirari, but I can't tell her now. I don't even know if I will confess to her someday or not. Either way, everything is over, that's for sure. The staff of the funeral home start moving busily as the priest's sutra gets close to the end. Candles are flaring on the shrine. The scent of the incense and mothballs is mixed up in the air.
私ね。
Kirari starts talking to me in a small voice that only I can hear. I listen to her while looking straight forward. I couldn't look at her.
あんな状況でみんなはバカにするかもしれないけど。でもね。
It's hard for me to hear her talk while she suppresses her emotion.
我慢して一生懸命頑張ってればいつかはきっと家族みんなで仲良く暮らせる。 ハッピーエンドが来るって信じてたんだ。
I wonder what kind of expression she has on her face now.
ダメなら何だってするつもりだったのに。
I turn towards her, but Karen, she hides her devastated face. I look straight forward again. I thought about her father talked to me about her childhood. Her family was her only support in her lonely childhood. Her father was like that, but he still understood her. After the funeral is over, it's time for business. The large jet was left to the Shino family, but they waived the inheritance. They are no longer bound by the pressure to pay back the debt. Their mother was a co-signer for a few things, but the lawyer tells them that she has no responsibility to pay them back. Thank fuck. They apply for all of the welfares that they're eligible for. After taking care of everything, the economical status of Shina family is still tight, but it is manageable. Of course, Kirara doesn't have to work anymore. The result seems like a dream, but all we did was use common sense. Because the person who was striking them down is no longer here, they're now able to be constructive and have a normal life. Kirara is back in school. With a bad economical situation, she has a chance to go to college now. Her grades are good, and her teachers are pushing her to pursue higher education. However, her emotional state is still not back to normal. Yoink. She smiles at others, but she speaks less and has become quieter than before. She will sometimes be away from her friends to spend time alone. She's also not too excited about going to college. She can't easily accept the fact that everything was going very well because of her father's death. I think her kindness is forcing her to feel that way, but I want her to accept reality. However, that's for my own selfish reasons. And since the events in the hospital, I've been avoiding her because I don't know what to say to her. When she talks to me at school, I greet her but pass by her without saying anything else. The blank feeling I had in the funeral home is still with me. I know my attitude will only make her sad. I want to act normal at the surface to make her feel better, but I feel truly guilty to do that. Then there's no way I can joke around with her after betraying and killing her father. I thought about telling her the truth, but that will ruin her possibilities. It's best that I remove myself from her life. How am I supposed to feel about this result? I still don't know if the decision I made that night was right or wrong. I don't even have energy to think about it anymore. However, I know that I'm going to be paying the price somehow in my life. I don't want to break up my relationship with Kirari and the others, as long as we are close together. And I wish for Kirari to be happy. Kira. Winter is here, and it is... And is this the season for the last lap of the entrance exams? The students in our school are known to be down to earth, but we are starting to get excited. Even my lazy friends are starting to study seriously. I'm not that serious, but I do study all the time. My parents and sister are pleasantly surprised to see me like this, but it's not something they should be proud of. I'm studying just because I have nothing else to do. Kirari has finally decided not to go to college. The teacher who believed in her ability to try to persuade her, but she didn't change her mind. However, she didn't give up college for a negative reason. She passionately explained to her teacher that she wants to get out to the real world and be a productive adult. She's starting to recover from her loss. I appreciate her effort.
私ももったいないと思うけど、あの子らしいっちゃあの子らしいね。
Shiani stirs the ice in the glass with her straw. After the practice exam, we went to the usual cafe. We started talking about karate. Monokami also took the same exam, but he left early to take guitar lessons from Tony. It's been a while since I was alone with Shiani. I feel uncomfortable when she tries to be close to me. Ever since that day, I've been feeling uncomfortable to be with anyone in this world. If that's what she believes it should be the right decision, I think she made the right choice. I try to hide my discomfort.
何よ、人事みたいに。
Shiani sighs. Then she glares at me.
ねえ、あんたたちどうなってんの？
What do you mean?
何がって、あんたとキラリのことよ。
Everyone has noticed how Kirari and I are acting strange towards each other lately. I knew someone would ask me someday, but it's hard to answer this question. Well, fine. I stammer my answer.
何もないはずないでしょ。そりゃあんなことがあったんだし、いろいろ私たちも知らないような複雑なことがあるのかもしれないけれど。
Of course, she's talking about the death of her father.
でも、仲が悪くなるようなことでもないと思うんだけどな。ねえ、もしよかったら事情を話してくれない？第三者なら当人とは違う考え方も教えてあげられるかもしれないし。
I thought she was upset with me, but now she looks concerned. However, I can't answer to her with honesty. There's nothing going on. We're not breaking apart either. I'm just busy because of the exam. I guess my answer isn't persuasive enough. She stares at me with a disapproving look.
仲直りしなさいよ。
I wouldn't be in such trouble if we could do that. I just show her a confused face. Shiani sighs deeply.
あんたたちがこんなだと気持ち悪いのよ。いつも通り夫婦漫才してくれないと。
Yay. We weren't trying to be funny.
とにかく、これじゃ私が受験に集中できない。
She grimaces.
とにかく、ちゃんと話し合いなさいよ。最近ろくに会話もしてないんでしょ。お正月とかクリスマスなんかちょうどいいじゃない。
Murakami was planning a Christmas party for all of us. The New Year's Star Generation and this what? Why? It's having their final live performance. We were planning to go after visiting the shrine for the New Year. I'm actually thinking about not going to either event. I'm in the middle of my exam season.
ダメよ。
Thank you. Shinny answers immediately.
せっかく村上くんが企画してくれてるし、ライブだってスタジェネの人たちには散々お世話になったでしょ。それに冬休みの間中ずっと勉強するわけでもないだろうし。
I am. I registered for the winter lecture courses during the Christmas season.
一日くらい休みなさいよ。勉強より大事なことってあるよ。だいたい鹿之助はさ。
She complains to me for a while, and I finally agree to hang out with them on New Year's Day. Good. School is on winter break right now. I'm concentrating on studying for the exam at home without going anywhere. I go to the winter lecture on Christmas Day. Kirari calls me to ask me why I didn't show up to the party, but I dodged the question, and she hangs up the phone as I apologize. Oh, god damn it. Today's finally the last day of the year. I wake up around noon and study, and before I know it, it's night. Warm air is quietly coming out of the heater. It's almost the New Year, and I'm supposed to go out to see the live concert with my friends, but I don't feel like it. I want to cancel it right now, but I guess I can't. Yeah, you just go, you idiot. I see the New Year's countdown on TV. I apathetically watch the excited people on the screen. The host with the white suit starts counting down, and soon the New Year arrives. You too. That's my sister Yuko showing outside my door. Oh. Oh, Happy New Year! I don't know if she heard my reply. I heard her footsteps starting down the stairs. She said she has an engagement with her friend Jill. I should be getting ready to leave also. I put my jacket on and wish my parents a Happy New Year before I leave. The cell phone in my pocket keeps giving my text message alerts. I haven't checked them yet, but it's probably my friends wishing me a Happy New Year. Wishing. Excuse me. The air outside is as cold as ice, and my breath is turning into a white haze. The air around my neck is extremely cold. As I pull up the collar of my jacket, I hear the temple bell tolling for the new year. Hey, Ewing. By the time I arrive at the station, my friends are already there. Tonya has a cool-looking jacket. Happy New Year! Whoa! Yeah, I look towards him.
明けましておめでと
Murakami, who loves these special events, turns back towards me with a huge smile.
おめでとう。ちゃんと来たね。
Jenny nods at me.
明けましておめでとう。今年もよろしく。
Tonya is wearing his usual poker face, but the tip of his nose looks red from rubbing it to edge.
明けましておめでとう。去年はありがとうね。
Where's your jacket, girl? Huh? Kirara's been greeting me energetically lately. Not knowing what to do, I just slyly nod at her.
う。なんだ前島、テンション低いな。
Going. He asks me with a broad smile. You think so?
そうだよ。その返事だってあっさりしすぎだ。
He lifts his eyebrows.
というより、村上くんがテンション高すぎるんじゃないの？
Well, you're right. How could I judge anyone else? Jenny teases him.
そうか？俺こそが普通だと思うけどな。それにしても、女性陣は誰も晴れ着を着てこないんだな。
It's fucking winter. Oh, and they're... Actually, I wouldn't know, really. I'm not gonna question. Well, might as well ask girls, why are you not in your swimsuit in this cold night? Murakami glanced at Chiani and heaves a deep sigh.
さすがにそこまでは用意してる暇はなかったな。一応受験生なんだもん。
Chiani answers with a bird smile.
仕方ないか。しかし、こうしてみんなで集まるのは久しぶりだな。これで柏原が来たらもっと良かったのに。
Murakami murmurs with a sad voice.
そうね。せめてライブだけでも一緒に来てくれたら。
サリナちゃんは年末年始は家にいなくちゃいけないからね。仕方ないよ。
Kirari defends her friend, but she also sounds disappointed. I think Kirari is the one who's feeling the saddest about the fact that Kashibara is not here. Since her father's death, her friendship was what supported her the most.
ま、とにかく揃ったみたいだし、行くか。
At Murakami's suggestion, we start walking towards the shrine. This shrine is not a famous shrine, but it is very crowded today. There are a number of booths along the pathway selling the sake and sweet cake to the visitors. Their excited faces seem like something from another world. We stand in line. Kirari stops every so often, looking longingly at the stalls. But I pull her along, and it's almost our turn. 2 people can pay homage at a time. I do it to Tonya. When I look inside of the offering box, I saw several bills in there along with coins. I wonder how much to get to make tonight. How much are you going to put in there? I asked Tonya as he puts his fingers in his coin purse.
5円かな。ご縁があるように。
He sounds like an old man. My penny should do the trick, but I decided to do the same. Following Antonia, I throw a 5 yen coin into the offering box and swing the bell. Then put my hands together. I look up, Tonya is still praying. He looks serious. He might be more superstitious than I thought. After we swish with Chiani and Karate behind us, I asked Tonya what he was wishing for.
周りの人みんなが今年1年平穏無事に過ごせるようにって。
He answers with a serious face, but it doesn't sound like a rock star's answer.
そっちは？
Well, I just wish something good will happen to me. I actually didn't wish for anything that has to do with my future, but I answered him just because.
こういうのもっと具体的に願わないとダメなんだよ。
Tonya is very particular. And at that moment, I hear a loud rattle of the bell, and when I turn back, I see it was caused by Karate.
あんなに鳴らすもんじゃないのにな。
She puts her hands together and closes her eyes with a serious look on her face. I wonder what she's wishing for. We leave the shrine after we buy fortune slips and charm arrows. When we approach the station, we decide to go to the usual cafe. Everyone is cold, so we each order something warm.
ついに1年が終わっちゃったね。去年はいろいろあったな。
Jenny sighs and sips her lemon tea.
元旦から過去を惜しんでちゃダメだな。こういう時は素晴らしい新しい年が始まったって言うんだ。
そうは言っても、さすがに去年は感慨深いものがあったよ。
Jenny vaguely sips their teacup. She's reminiscing about many things. Yoink.
しかしだな、我々和コードは常に未来を見てゆかねばならんのだ。干渉に浸ってる暇はないぞ。未来は次から次へと迫り来る。万全の備えで戦っていかねば。
村上くんに言われたくないよ。
Exactly. It's not for me, but it is for the. Get out of here, house.
そうだよ。君こそ未来に備えてもうちょっと真面目に受験勉強しなきゃ。
Jenny also commented.
なんという夢のないことを。
Murakami frowns as he gets attacked by the girls.
今年はみんないいことあるといいよね。
Donna speaks well, staring at the charm arrow we bought at the shrine.
お前は妙にのんびりしてるな。そんなのでいいのか？
Murakami asks Tonaya with a frown.
え？どういうこと？
Tonaya looks back at them with a surprise.
海外に勝負をかける大事な年じゃないか。
うん。
Tonaya seems uncomfortable with Murakami's serious look.
だいたいお前はいつも緊張感が足りない。今日だってスタジェネの解散ライブという重大なイベントがあるだろう。それなのにそんな浜屋なんか大切にしてていいのか？もっとこうパンク的な緊張感を高めたりしないのか？そんな宗教的なものパンクの理念とそぐわないじゃないか。今すぐ叩き寄ってしまえ。
Probably because you, I don't know, 8,000 yen or whatever. Fuck it. Just crush it.
そんなので
Just like
き
a
ないよ。
rockstar would. He squints with a confused expression.
これはうちの昔からの習慣だからね。いいんだよ。
パンクは形から入れって教えたのお前じゃないか。
まあトノヤンほどになれば形なんかこだわる必要ないんじゃないの？
それはそうなのかもしれないが。
Murakami has no choice but to nod.
ねえ、でもさ、解散ライブなら普通年末にするんじゃないの？どうして年が明けてすぐにお別れのライブなんかするんだろ
Kirari asked Tonaya with a confused face.
バンドの解散は終わりじゃなくて、次の新しいステージの始まりだから、らしいよ。八木さんが言うには。
村上くんと同じ発想なのね。
Jenny smiles barely.
そうか。でも、なんだか寂しいね。スタジェネがなくなっちゃうの。
Kirari sighs.
バンドはなくなっても、メンバーがいなくなったりするわけじゃないから大丈夫だよ。
Tonaya always has his own pace.
そうは言うけどさ、私たちが去年いろんなことがあったのもスタジャネのおかげだしね。なんだか人事って感じがしないの。
Jenny also sighs like Kirari. Yoink.
人事じゃないなら出演してくれればよかったのに。八木さんは第二文芸部のみんなにも出てほしかったってブツブツ言ってたよ。
We had an offer from Takehara-san a while ago, but we politely rejected it.
さすがに受験生がこの時期に出演はね。こんなすごいイベントに出るなら練習もいっぱいしなきゃいけないし。
Jenny smiles bitterly. I agreed with rejecting the offer, but a part of me now feels that maybe we should have accepted it. We haven't performed in a while, and I feel like I want to stand on that loud stage again for one last time, dressed in the girls' clothes.
まあ、受験じゃ仕方ないよね。あとそうだ。一つ、みんなに確認しておかなくちゃいけないことがあったんだけど。
Tonaya tells us that you want to cover the song we made for the school festival. Let's jump! At the show tonight. It's an unexpected thing to hear it from him.
ほら、あの文化祭の時も八木さん来てたでしょ。よほど気に入っちゃってたみたいで、うちのバンドでやりたいんだって。いいかな。
いいに決まってるよ。っていうかすごく光栄。本当なの？
うん。
アレンジとかはしてるの？
少しだけしてるけど、ほとんど原曲のまま演奏するつもりだよ。
へえ、スタジェネのメンバーがやるレッツジャンプか。どんなだろうな。
Even Murakami can't hide his surprise. We performed that song imperfectly during the festival, so I'm curious to hear how they would play it.
私たちにとっても楽しいイベントになりそうだね。そういえばさ、ついでだから聞くけど、告知ではゲストバンドのこと隠してたけど、どんな人たちが来るの？
Nope.
こっそり教えてよ。
Nope, since you're not performing, I won't tell you. Fuck you. Jenny asks him.
それは僕が勝手に話していいのかな。
Tonaya grimaces, but knowing how he is, he will eventually tell us if we bug him persistently. Tonaya can't win over Jenny. We get up chatting in the cafe. And the night is almost over, we decide to leave the cafe to go see the sunrise.
ねえあんた、もうちょっとキラリと話しなさいよ。
When I try to go out of the door, Jenny whispers in my ear.
年も変わったんだし、気持ちを切り替えてさ。二人ともよそよそしくて、みんな気を使っちゃうじゃないの。
I'm sorry, Mom. Before I get a chance to reply, she ducks out of the door and leaves. But what can I do? Am I quietly and go out in the street after her? I shrug my shoulders to the cold, early morning air.
あっちの空が明るくなり始めてるよ。
We looked at the direction Kirari points out. The edge of the dark sky is slightly getting brighter. Everyone stays quiet. We exhale white puffs of breath and stare at the sun rays. The sunlight gradually erodes the cold and quiet sky. When the tip of the sun appears at the horizon, a sharp beam penetrates my eyes. I shield my eyes with my hand. When my eyes adjust to the light, the sun is rising over the buildings. It is now bright out here. Everyone looks at each other and smiles. I pretend to warm my hands with my breath and hide my face. Kira, Kira. I should probably end the episode here. I've been recording for an hour 20 some minutes. Although I will cut it down to an hour and 10. Most likely without much struggling. I struggled trying to do an intro. But I'm gonna read a little more. We each decided to go home and meet back at the stage tonight. I can't fall asleep in the bright room, and it doesn't turn. Soon it is time for me to leave. I'm still sleepy, but the cold air outside makes me right up. When I get to the theater, Murakami is already there.
Yo, 半日ぶりだな。
He waves his hand at me. He apparently came here with Tonya, and he decided to wait for me out here.
見ろよ、すごい人混みじゃないか。今日の初詣にも引けを取らない。
Murakami speaks with excitement. There's a lot of people outside the live house waiting for the place to open. This is my first time seeing this kind of line in front of this theater. I hate to admit it, but I'm starting to feel excited too. This is the power of Star Generation! By the way, if I forget to do that earlier, I'm sorry. But I cut me quietly nuts to my words. I mean, it did speak its name louder, but not with that enthusiasm. I'm kind of like, while I deal with the play this a little more, I am getting burned by the sun, honestly. But I cut me quietly nuts to my words. I think they could have chosen a bigger place for tonight's farewell performance, but I assumed they intentionally picked this one. Ginny and Kirari are coming together, so we don't have to wait for them. We give our names to the staff member who is organizing the lion. He let us in because we're on the invited guest list. We step inside the theater while feeling the stares of the other people in the lion. I know a lot about this place because I performed there before. I got Murakami to the dressing room, knock on the door, and say my name.
いいよ。
Thank you. We opened the door after hearing Tonya's voice from the room. We start to chat with Tonya. Yagihara-san also joins our conversation.
他の連中は
Yoink. Yagihara-san asks Murakami in a frank tone of voice. I don't have any.
もう来るはずなんですけどね。遅刻してるのかな。多分シーノのやつが遅れてるんです。
Wait, didn't you just come by this? What? Did I misread something? Oh, they're still coming. Murakami always gets nervous in front of Yagihara-san.
あいつらしいな。
Yagihara-san laughs.
まあ、レッツジャンプが始まるまでに来てくれりゃいい。あれだけは君ら第二文芸部の人間にしっかり聞いてほしいんだ。負けるつもりはないからな。
とんでもない。
Yoink. Murakami is being humble for some reason. I was trying to see if I could see his eyes through those glasses, but nope. That's like the guy, Kashiwada's flute. I'm gonna take a little bit of a breather and check how long has it been since I recorded Kashiwada's flute. Which was, by the way, our scheduled as well as this episode and the previous other videos and many other videos that I did. Okay, I've ended Kashiwada's flute back in April 24, but I believe I recorded somewhere back in November of 2024 or December. So, yeah. It's been more than a little bit. Anyways, there are lots of invited guests tonight because this is their last show. Since the dressing room is getting crowded, we decided to leave and go down to the hall area.
すげえな。 これが本物のライブハウスか。
Yoink. Murakami breathes heavily with excitement and looks around the area. What do you mean by a real theater?
だって俺、実際に足を踏み入れるのこれが初めてなんだもの。
Are you serious? About time you did, Jen.
仕方ないじゃんか。俺ついてないんだよな。ずっと来たかったんだけど、お前らが初めてライブハウスでやるときは風邪だったし。それよりもさ、ちょっと説明してくれよ。
I explained about the different equipment and systems of the theater that I experienced during the summer.
すげえな、前島。お前まるで本物のバンドマンみたいだ。
Murakami is impressed now of all times. While we're chatting, Chini and Kirari also show up.
鹿くん、挨拶した？
Hey! Wait, Kashiwara? Oh, wait, you cannot... Wait, my brain is not working. It wasn't Kashiwara. I'm sorry. Kirari asked me innocently if it's Donna and, well, the others? Yeah. Yeah, I did.
楽屋の雰囲気ってやっぱいいね。私懐かしくなっちゃったよ。
She smiles at me and goes to help Murakami, who's trying to get some drinks for us. Kirari seems so energetic today. I speak to myself as I see Murakami and Kirari conversing at the bar area.
よかった。お父さんを亡くしたり、鹿之助に冷たくされたりで、あの子ずいぶんへこんでたからね。
Jenny is standing close to me. I'm not trying to avoid her.
してるわよ。
I can't see anything back to her. They come back with drinks in their hands.
よし、じゃあ人が入る前に最前列の一番いい場所を取ろうぜ。
Murakami has a satisfied look on his face.
いやー、それはどうだろう。
Jenny looks better?
招待客が最前列ってのはどうかと思うけどな。
I agree with her opinion. The guests should be quietly watching in the back.
遠慮なんかしたらもったいないって。せっかくのライブなんだから、一番いいところで見ようよ。私たちは招待客である前に一人のファンなんだから。
Yoing. Kirari agrees with Murakami. But it's going to be so crowded tonight. The front row will be crazy. Murakami and Kirari become angry with me. Yoing. We decided to split into pairs. Chini and I are going to relax at the back, while Murakami and Kirari enjoy the crazy front row. Going. Before long, the door opens and the crowd runs inside. Little Kirari just quickly disappears in the crowd. Murakami stands out, so it is easy to tell where they are. And I do that? No, they all look like a bunch of headbutts. Jenny and I joke around as we see his head.
ねえ、さっきの続きなんだけどさ。
Jenny suddenly stops joking around and changes the tone of her voice. About what?
キラリのこと。
That again?
そうだよ。悪い？
No, I don't.
でもね、鹿之助に知ってほしいことがあるのよ。
Something you want me to know?
うん。あの子ったらね、さっきここに来るまでの間、今日は久しぶりに鹿之助と休日を過ごせるから嬉しいって、すごく楽しそうに言ってたんだよ。
I see.
それで、すぐには打ち解けられないかもしれないけど、少しずつ仲良くなれたらいいな。だから頑張っていっぱい話しかけるぞって気合い入れてね。あの子本当にけなげで可愛いんだから。
That's what she was saying?
うん。
I didn't know. I feel overwhelmed.
分かったら、ちゃんと仲良くしてあげなさいよ。あなただってキラリのこと好きでしょ？
Why not? But I'm not sure if I can do that. I'm trying my best to act normal.
じゃあこれで終わり。もう私は何も言わないからね。本当は余計なこと言いたくないんだから。
Sorry. As I apologize, Chianya looks towards where Kirari is standing.
でもキラリ本当にはしゃいでるな。今日は来てよかったね。
I knew tonight was going to be crowded, but this is worse than I expected. The back of the room is also crowded, and Chianya and I lose each other. I would have gone to the front section if I had known it was going to be this crowded. The show hasn't started yet, but the place is already humid. But this makes me feel right at home. We were breathing this steamy air every day when we traveled around the country over the summer. While I reminisce about the past, the lights go out, signaling the beginning of the show. Yoink. Star Generation performs for most of the time, and the guest bands that have connections with them perform one song each every once in a while. The guest bands are also high quality bands, and the show is overall pretty splendid. The ticket prices same as usual, so this cement is a hot deal. However, most people here probably didn't take it as a good deal. I'll expect with fanatical fans who waited in line on the New Year's Day. I assume they have mixed feelings for the last live performance of Star Generation! Some fans started crying as soon as the show started. Some said at the end of Star Generation! It's the end of the page in the history of the Indies music industry. I'm not smart enough to make that analysis, but I am sure that the story of the Second Literature Club is completely in the past. I became acquainted with the band when I first saw their show with Kirari. I watched the stage with a peaceful feeling. Oh yeah. After that little drunk bastard incident in the bar. The gap between the crowded hall and myself makes me feel like I'm inside of a fishbowl. Right then, Star Generation! It vanishes performing a song. Nagahara-san holds the microphone with his sweaty hand and starts talking to the audience.
じゃあ次は趣向を変えてちょっと特別な曲をやろう。うちのバンドの曲じゃなくて俺たちと親しいバンドの曲なんだけれども、ケンタが
I assume he's talking about our song. Shiani has reappeared beside me and she pulls my shirt. Hi, you've been missing for a little while. I'm not back there. However, Yagar-san stops talking all of a sudden. He lets get up the microphone and starts talking to someone in the front row. It's where Murakami's big head is located.
もしかして
Shiani muttered, "Do you think Yagihara-san is?" When I try to reply, Yagihara-san reaches his hand towards the audience. A small hand grabs his head silently.
Kirari!
Shiani raises her voice with surprise. She smiles and bows at the audience as soon as she gets on the stage.
ここで飛び入りのゲストを紹介します。
Wow! People must have thought she was one of the fans. Yagihara-san starts explaining to the confused audience.
みんな知ってるんじゃないかな。この夏に話題になったあの第二文芸部の天才ボーカル C のキラリが駆けつけてくれました。
Kirari bows again with a shy look on her face. A round of applause comes from the audience.
八木原さん、今さらっと普通に天才って言ったね。
That's cause she is! Another Chiani's excited comment.
これからやる曲は彼女たちのバンドの曲だ。初めて発表したライブ、ちょうど俺も見ていたんだけれど、そりゃあすごかった。今思えばあの時聞いたこいつのボーカルが俺たちが今日こうして解散する理由の一つかもしれないな。
The audience jokingly boo at what he jokingly said.
俺が歌おうと思ってたんだが、本物と比べられても面白くない。だから俺はこの曲ではギターに回るかな。 ギター3本じゃちょっと多いが。
He laughs and gives his position to Karate. Wow.
ごめんなさい。
Karate is nervous and bows her head when she stands in the center of the stage. There's a microphone at the next checkers as well. Candace laughs at her. Is she going to be okay? I whisper at she and with concern.
いつもこんなもんだし大丈夫だと思うけど、客席から見るとなんだか不安だね。ここからじゃいざという時にフォローしてあげられないし。
She seems concerned too. Karate starts gabbling to introduce himself.
柳原さんが言うような、そんな大したことは全然ない。C のキラリです。
She looks shy with a flushed face.
今日はスタジェネさんのために命をかけて死んでもいいつもりで歌うので、皆さん怒らないで聞いてください。
Glances at Jagad-san for support, but he smiles and shakes his head. She looks at Tonoya next. Tonoya nods and brings the microphone to his mouth.
できるだけ静かに聞いてください。彼女の歌はすごいですよ。
Then he looks at Kirari with his usual poker face. She looks back at him with a confused look. The drum count starts as soon as Ikehara-san grins at her and makes her frown. Yoin. I was worried, but when the song starts and it returns to his usual self, she might even be better than usual.
なんとか大丈夫だったみたいね。ちゃんと声が出てる。
She any signs? When I see her sinking under the spotlight, she looks like a real vocalist. I've seen her on TV, but it's my first time seeing her sing as an audience member. It's different than seeing her from behind with a bass in my hand.
今さら何言ってるの。
Shinny smiles barely.
あの子がすごいのは思い知ってるじゃないのよ。
I know, but
でもスタジェネをバックに従えてるのに本当に立派ね。
she speaks as if she's looking at something shiny. I feel the same way. She doesn't allow Tonya's guitar to win over her voice. She looks better performing with them rather than playing with us. Her voice is indeed amazing. My mighty breast heart feels like it's going to start dancing. Does everyone feel this way? Kirari is truly amazing. Perhaps the audience knew this before I did. I always thought she was amazing, even when I was listening to her from behind. But tonight, it's different. I was sighing at her look and her voice, but it's not making me feel happy. It just clearly makes me realize that she is special. Her expression looks so alive today. She deserves to be on the stage. I started thinking about what her father told me about her in the hospital. He told me she's afraid of standing out, but this may be the place she feels most free and comfortable. I hope this can be the place she belongs instead of being stuck with her family. Her voice sounds like it's echoing from far away. I used to be behind her, but that seems like a dream now. A bear bass is supporting her vocal now, and so many other amazing people will be supporting her from now on. The show is close to the end, and the hall is surrounded by a sad atmosphere. It's not just the females now, the male fans are also starting to cry. There is one more song left, and some people are covering their faces and crying like babies. The band is quietly talking to the fans. Each member says farewell to the fans and tells them their future plans. Some members are joining other bands. Some are taking breaks. Antonia is going to America. I already knew that, but his fans hear it for the first time, and they're shocked. Finally, Nagahara-san announces that he's going to establish an indies record label with his friend.
自分がステージに立つよりも有望な新人を送り出すことに興味が移ってきたんだ。世の中には埋もれている才能が多すぎる。
I don't know how other people take his comments, but I think it's just like him to say that. The hall is strangely silent when their last song starts. We're not doing an encore tonight, so this is the last song by Star Generation! Sad screams come out from the audience as she starts performing. Yoink! Yeah, Hanson continues to sing while rubbing his face several times. Tonya also has a different expression on his face. The other members are also overwhelmed. It's my first time seeing them like this. The fans in the hall jump up and down and punch their fists up to the rough song. They don't want to believe that the end is coming. However, it does come. The song ends and the sound stops. At the same time, the audience becomes quiet, and the hall is bathed in silence. Never mind. When the band starts leaving the stage one by one, the fans begin to call their names. Some of them wave and some of them just leave the stage without looking up. Now Garrison simply smiles and waves at the audience. I can't see his expression under his sunglasses. Donnie is the last one on the stage. Many people are calling his name. He gets up the stage once, but comes back to the center again. As everyone stares at him, he deeply bows. He stays like that for a long time. A great cheer and a round of applause comes from the audience. I think they are screaming Kanta, but I can't tell. Tonya gradually looks up and leaves the stage with applause. He wipes his face on his way. After all the members are gone, people still continue to applaud at the empty stage. Weirdos. I'm sorry. The four of us get together again to get to the dressing room, but we can't because it's too crowded. When we get out of the theater, people are all talking about this show in groups. It's bad manners to make groups outside like this, but I guess today's special. When we try to pass, we are stopped.
シーノさんですか?
It's a man in between young and old, and someone I don't know. Sounds like Jenny's parents' voice. Kirari doesn't recognize him and looks at him in surprise.
私、こういうものです。
He's dressed casual, but pulls out a business card. When we looked at the card, the name of a famous record company is written on there.
どういうことなんですか?
Murakami asks instead of Kirari, who is in shock.
いや、シーノさんとビジネスの話をしようと思いましてね。
He explains, somewhat intimidated by Murakami's huge body. Basically, he's saying that he wants Kirari to debut as a singer for his company.
前々からシーノさんの噂は八木原くんから聞いてたんですけど、信じてなかったんですよ。でも実際見たら本当にすごい。これは掘り出し物だなと思ったわけで。
Yagihara-san has been rejecting his offer to become a professional singer for a while, and he always used Kirari as the reason. He explains.
彼はもしかしたらシーノさんみたいな子を売り出したくてレーベルを立ち上げようとしたのかもしれないな。だけどこっちも見過ごしていられない。いや、君はすごいよ。
He starts talking frankly.
マジですか?
マジだよ。
He answers immediately.
どうするの？すごい話じゃない。
Jenny shakes Kirari's shoulders with excitement, but she remains silent with a complicated expression on her face. I don't know what she's unsure about, but this is a strange situation. I'm not denying her talent, but I feel suspicious about him. Kirari won't open her mouth at all. The man says.
信じられないかもしれないが、そんなに驚くようなことじゃない。 世の中には時々ならあるんだな、こういう話。
Kira. Okay, I am gonna end the episode right here. So thank you for watching. I'll see you around in a week. That's visual now.